Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys, of course, I'm gonna review Robo Riders because this week is the special Robo Riders week. And well, today I'm gonna review Power, but of course, as you may know, I don't have any Robo Riders canister apart from the first one. This means I'm gonna show you, of course, for those who don't know what look like Robo Riders canister. I'm gonna show you, of course, the first one. But of course, the powers one is yellow because the yellow is one of the main colors of the powers color scheme. So here's the canister, Robo Riders canister, the one first, of course. So well, nothing really to show you apart, of course, you got the Robo Riders right here, the sixth one. Then some gimmicks, which of course where you will see power if it was powers canister. Then the little fridge gimmick with the webcode, and of course the most interesting part, the canister lid, which is really useful because it has a pinhole, and this canister lid, which will be really useful for to build the commoners model, in fact, because they are used as wheels or stuff like that. So they well, you really have to own the canister lid to build the commoner model, because you can't really finish the commoners model without the canisters lid, because they are used as wheels. So that's all for the canisters, and now for the powers instruction booklet. So here you go. You can see power, of course. This time it's in a dark city, which I think don't really like him, because there is some demolition. I'm gonna say boulder work, but I'm not really sure. Some demolition balls, which don't really look happy. In fact, there's some scratch, which seems to be some face. So yeah, they kind of want to scratch down the power. I'm gonna say the power, but it's just power. So yeah, again, some natural enemies. This guy is built in 20 steps. You can see here is canister. So as I've said earlier, it's supposed to be yellow. Well, it is yellow. Then the gimmick with power itself. So of course the front wheel gimmick. How to launch it. Again, a little picture of the canister right here, which of course use the same image, the same pictures as the front one of the instruction booklet. Then all the 16 type of wheels, and I have the official name right now, so if I do not mistake, this one is called AC, this one is called Twin Saw, this one is Driller, this one is Axer, this one is Grab, Rope, Dynamite, Fuel, Skeleton, Laser, Ninja, Stunner, Chainsaw, Fly, Bazooka, which is quite rare because I would say bazooka, but it seems bazooka is kind of a typo with a L, but no, it seems to be the official name, so okay, bazooka, which is just weird, well, bazooka, which seems better, and then the Scout. So that's the official name from pictures found on the old website, I think, or at least on the maybe on the disc, the little disc box. So here you have the common model between Onyx and Power. So as you can see, it's quite interesting because this time it's not a motorbike, but it's more like a two-legged guy. So here what it looks at the eight steps, the 8 step. Here's some ads for all 6 Robo Riders. Well, at least there is a 7th one, but here's the 6 which come in canister form, and then the 5 other common model which can be made with more than 2 Robo Riders, and of course which were available on the official website. So I still do not have search for if you can still find this edition booklet. So well, maybe before the end of this review I will search to find if you can still find the instruction for this 5 commoners. And that's all for the instruction booklet. So now for the set itself. So here's Power. Ta-da. So as I've said, his color scheme is yellow, so of course it's all yellow, black, and some trans orange part for some 2 little systems part, as you can see right here. But apart from that, of course, it's mainly yellow and black, and you all know that this color scheme is the color scheme of the Victory, because it's really at least in my opinion, it's really a cool color scheme. Really a good one. So is for the little turnaround. So as you can notice, this guy has the third frame, because remember I said in my first review that there were 3 type of body frame for the Robo Rider. So of course there was the one on first, which was a modified slicer body frame, so nothing really new. And then we reviewed Lava and Swamp, which got in fact some more generic techniques parts which are used to make the body frame. And this time we're gonna review the third one, which is used on Power, Onyx, Dust, and the Boss, which is the biggest Robo Rider. So I'm gonna put all these parts off. Okay, and explain you how it works. So here is the body frame. As you can see, it's a big blocky part with a multitude of pinholes, one here, and some axle hole here and there also. By the way, this one will be useful to link the head. So of course, it's a classic Robo Rider head. The name is written here, so kind of like Frost, I guess. And well, again, it's a kind of a mechanical head with some little eyes, which still looks weird, I have to say. And well, it's looked pretty, okay. In the same type of as the other Robo Rider's head. Then we're gonna link this little black part right here with an axle of 4, which will be useful to link this longer axle. This part is quite useful because, of course, it's where all the main gimmick, the main gear works. So you can see you have kind of little gears right here, which was used before on the Slicer's body frame. Remember, it was used to turn the head up or down. So this one is used right here. This part right here, which is all bioelastic, in fact, is useful to hold the gear part in place. So this means when I turn this part, the gears don't move. Don't move here or there. It don't goes in the front or in the rear. So it's held by this part and the elastic part. We're gonna then link these 2 little parts. You may of course remember because they are useful to attach the front wheel section with the little launcher. Then we're gonna link this part, and you may remember it because we have already seen this black part in my first review, in fact. So this time it's come around because yes, of course, this part was not used on Lava or Swamp. Of course, you have some wheels. Here is the infamous Blazooka. So I think maybe it's a little combo between Blam and Bazooka. I don't really know, but it doesn't really look really happy, in fact. And it's pointing at you, I think, like kind of 7 rocket launchers. So I wouldn't stay in its path, I have to say. So it's linked thanks to this little gray part. Oh, and also notice that the kickstand is not in the official model. It's me who added it, in fact, to hold it well, because without the kickstand, it keeps on falling down. So I don't really know why LEGO didn't put a kickstand, because it's what they did on Frost and on Onyx, but not on Power. So I don't really know why. So of course, you may remember that this part has, of course, 2 axle holes and 4 pin holes, but also have some gear part right here, if I can call this like that, as you can see. And of course, this part will be linked on the gear you can see here. So this means we're going to put the parts like that. So these 2 parts are linked together thanks to the gear section. Now we're going to link an axle like that. And now this part is held, of course. And on this axle, you can see we have a connector, a slicer arm or leg, and then a slicer shoulder pad, plus some little system parts used as, I think, maybe laser or rocket launcher. Again, it's up to you it's up to your imagination. So we're gonna link 2 of them, by the way. And now we're gonna link the final part, which is the front one with the wheel holder, of course. And this time I think, yes, we got stunner. Oh no, it's grab, excuse me. It's grab, yes. It's not stunner. We're gonna, of course, put this part thanks to the little holes on the inside of the black part. And here we go. We are done with Power. So it was quite easy, in fact. but it's quite interesting at first to see how it built because it chose a different frame from frost and lava, of course, and swamp. So here's a little turnaround. So now I think I'm gonna talk about the gimmicks of this set and also the applications, because yes, this time there is articulation, or there are articulation, not there is, but there are articulation. So yes, the main gimmick, of course, is this little one. So this means when I'm gonna turn this little axle, the wheels right here, at least all the rear part, will move down. Well, you can do that quite a long time, but it will not really. It's not really useful because I think, yeah, it just, well, at this point, you can do this kind of extreme stuff. So down, of course, or up, like that. And again, here is the maximum you can done with the little gear. So it's quite interesting because you can see, even if I turn this part, the part will not block. So as you can see, it still moves, and it will look like a motorbike suspension. Excuse me. So yeah, what did I say? Yes, the fact is that it's quite interesting because it really looks like a motorbike suspension because the suspension is on the rear part, of course, and as you can see, you can really have fun when you play with it because, well, instead of just making wall a big blocky part, you can still feel you can feel the suspension at the rear part of the model. So you have to say that it's pretty neat, or at least I really like this aspect of this frame because only this frame could allow this type of little suspension, kind of free suspension, and of course you can move the height of this rear part. Then of course you got two ball joints on this part, so you can, for example, put the lasers like that, which is the way they are put, in fact, in the instruction booklet. Not on the cover, but in the instruction booklet, they are put like that, so in a thinner way, I have to say, at least when you look on the front. But we're gonna let them in the instruction booklet cover pose. Like that. And finally, of course, you got the infamous wheel launcher, so I'm gonna try to launch it. So yeah, if you read the instruction booklet, it's already show you that you're supposed to, in fact, take this part as an handle for your hand and launch the disc. But when I tried this in my French version of the review, it just totally failed. So I'm just gonna do without holding this part as an handle, in fact, and try to succeed. But it's gonna be quite hard. Yes, it works. It works. So it really depends, in fact, I think. Sometimes it works, and sometimes I just fail. Oh, well, it totally works, so I'm not gonna wait to fail, in fact. So as you can see, this time it works, and you can, of course, launch the front wheel. But sometimes it's quite hard to make it work. Or at least maybe it's just me, I don't know. Post in comments if you have also some difficulties at launching, at throwing the front wheel. Well, by the way, I think that's quite all for the gimmicks. So now I'm going to do a sum up on power. So first of all, the color scheme is great, or at least for me it's great because I really like the black and yellow color scheme. So I would say that. So for me it's a good color scheme. Then you have the part selection, which is, I think it's quite weird because it depends if you have judge or not. Because if you have judge, in fact, you already have this part on the side, and well, it just well, you just finally add, if you have judge, there will just the wheels, the printed and unique head, of course, and maybe the blocky frame part and the square section, which can be useful, but seriously, apart from that, it's not really, well, it's not like Frost where I got some kind of spear, some hose pipe and stuff like that, so I don't really know why, but well, if you don't have judge on the other end, it's quite cool because you will have two connectors, two old yellow slicer arm, and then two black slicer shoulder pad, excuse me. And I think the black one can just be found in well, I think one can be found in City, and well, the two of them can be found, of course, in Judge. So if you don't have Judge, it can be a good parts pack, but apart from that, obviously it's not really that good. It's not really that. I think we have seen a better part selection. Now for the gimmick, which are pretty great in fact because you got like 3 of them, so it's quite unique for Robo Riders. I mean, you have of course the infamous front wheel launching part, then you have the suspension part, and of course the moving rear part with the little gear, which is really neat. And as I said, it's really cool because you still can feel the suspension. And then, of course, you have the two arms with 2 ball joints. So quite cool to make some different type of pose. Of course, if the ball joints are loose, it will be, I think, quite bad because I think it will keep on falling off, which is, I think, bad. So yeah, if you want this model, if you want to have, I think, fun with this model, of course, you're forced to have an elastic because without the elastic, of course, this part will fall down, I guess. And also, you have to, you really don't. It's really cool if you have not some loose ball joint for the 2 arms right here. Oh, and here, by the way, you have to add a kickstand, so see, because without the kickstand, it will just fall off, which is just a plain. Well, it's a shame. I don't really know why, because they have put on kickstand and thrust and Onyx, so why not on power? Because he really needed one, as you can see. So well, it's up to you. So if you have one part like that, one spare part like that, you know where to use it on power to make him a good kickstand. And then for the overall design, so in fact, there are really not that much to say on the overall design of this set because it's mostly a big bulky part, so where we're gonna add some different sections like the front wheels, the rear one, the 2 arms. But I have to say that I really like this aspect, which is quite unique on the power, in fact, because the other 2 Robo Riders which used this frame use a slicer head, not a Robo Rider 1. And as you can see, here you have the line, then it goes up this way, and then the 2 parts are just perfect because the line just follow one shape, I can say so. Is a straight line, in fact, and the 2 parts really look mix really good together, I have to say, because they just well, it's hard to explain in English with my poor vocabulary, but well, as you can see, the shape just is quite nice between these 2 parts, in fact. It's not like the shape is broken because the head is on the upper section or stuff like that. No, it's on the same height, if I can say so. So really, I like this aspect of the set, but it's quite rare because the set, in fact, looks quite thin, and if you look on the front, in fact, then it looks quite wide because of the 2 laser arms. So it's quite rare, I have to say. So the overall then I think it's okay, seriously. Not maybe the best, but well, works quite good, at least for this part, which is really a good one, I have to say. And I think that's all for power. So I don't really have anything to say about this set. It's quite cool for the color scheme, the gimmicks, stuff like that. The overall design is not really that bad, but it's not really that excellent. So maybe wait and see the 2 other Robo Riders which use this frame before deciding if you want this one or not, because well, I don't really have any idea. I don't really have any closed opinion for this one. Seriously, I would say it's a good model, but even it's not bad, but it's not excellent. Just I have to say, seriously, it has some drawbacks, and like the lack of kickstand, of course, and some stuff, and the overall design, which is quite weird also, but well, seriously, it's maybe just me, so well, just wait for the 2 other Robo Riders which use this frame. I think it will be well, it will be quite interesting to compare the 3 models and well, decide you which one you prefer, in fact, between these 3 models, excuse me. And that's all. So hope you enjoyed this review on power. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them on the comment section of this review. And that's all. So see you tomorrow, I guess, for the review of Onyx, or maybe it's Dust. Well, we will see. I think it's Dust, but well, we'll see tomorrow what I'm gonna review. So hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and see you later for another Robo Rider video review. Bye bye.